Okay, this is what I've been working on intensively lately, but really it's been the last many months of my life. Working on the book cover to my upcoming book, Across the Fence, and it started as like just a quick, sketch on paper, and then it turned into another version that was just the front part, and then I finally got the final page number count, and I got the template from the printing company that I'm using, based on the page count and the book size that I want to print my book as. And so they gave me this to work from to do the front, the spine, and the back. And this is the barcode I have to have on there with my ISBN number. And it took me a while to remember. I've only done this like once before. And how to figure out the bleed area and the safe area, and to get all of that put together on a like vector graphic program. I'm using Inkscape. It's free. It's an open source vector graphic editor, and I really like it a lot. So yeah, I had to figure out. So this is the dimension for just like one side, and I had to make the whole document size and then figure out where to put these margins in the other program, Inkscape. So Ingram Spark tells you that they need 6 millimeters on all sides, and then 148 millimeters across the width, but then you also need to do the spine and then the other front, and it's all connected onto one document. So 148 millimeters is from here to the middle of here, and then you add 6 millimeters, and then that's from here to the middle, and then add, well, what I did might not be exactly correct, but then I added 6 millimeters, and then that's 148 from here to the middle there again. So then I had my document size, and then I put in the margins as 6 millimeters, and this is let's see, 6 plus 148 minus, I did minus 6, so whatever, I don't know, to do that one, because you have to do it by the where it is on the in the space against the whole document ruler. So that's supposed to be 148, but whatever, 147.9. And then and then add another 6 for that one, but then this is 148 to here for this one. Okay, so then vector graphic editors, it's really fun. You work in layers. So I'm like self-taught with graphic design on the computer, unless you count a Microsoft Paint class that I took like back in the 90s when I was a kid. So yeah, you work in layers. These all come out as like something else, like whatever the object or path is that you add. So I'll just show that real quick. Let's see, we can add text here, and then that comes up as text, and then you can rename it. And then I'm gonna delete that. Okay, so then you can group things, and then this, I have it all on one big giant layer of the one document. You can add another page too and do more stuff if you wanted. And these are actually things I've worked on previously. So I've made this on its own, and then I just copy pasted into here. And let me go to the selectable arrow. So that's a thing, and then that's up here, and then that is made of, okay. Oh, well, it's funny. Actually, I took that. That is a remnant of something I think I did on perhaps Canva. I don't prefer Canva. Lots of people can use Canva. I don't really like it. If I think a good beginner graphic design program that if you don't want to use Canva but you want to get into graphic design is PicMonkey. I think that one's a good one. That's how I started a lot of my stuff. I used to do a lot of graphic design stuff for when I volunteered for our local pony club, and pretty much all of that stuff was done on PicMonkey, and I did pay for some of the extra stuff for a little while, and I did all kinds of fun things with that, but now I've got Inkscape. So yeah, and then so the mountains, I got a picture of some Sonora Desert mountains, and then you won't be able to see it, but I did what's called a, if you have a photo, you can do a trace bitmap, and then there's all different options of how you can select or kind of like distill the image into colors and the number of colors that you want. So I did the mountains, and then I added the blue background, and then the ground with the gradient, and you can alter the gradient. And then the agave plants I worked on during my first iteration of the book cover. So these are like fun little, see, it's like, oh, they're over there. So these are made of, let's see, 2 colors, and then plus I added the little shadows and then grouped them together. It's really fun. You can like organize all your stuff and rename it, and then group it, and then order it on where it comes up in the layer. Like, see, right now we can see the agave, but if I were to put this layer below everything, well, that didn't work right there. Let's see, I have to choose a different one. Panther. Okay, so Panther's the main character. Let's see if we move Panther. Yeah. Oh, so Panther went below the layers, and then we bring Panther back. Okay. So that was fun. Panther was a lot. Panther, I took an image of my horse and trace bitmapped it, and then like use this one to, this one is, I don't even know, the pen tool with, see, like the little dots, so you can like outline shapes by clicking a whole bunch or whatever, and then go down and then connect it all in one, and then that's a color, and then you can change the color. Yeah, and then you could leave it like that, or you can do the gradient. Let's see, oh, you can't see all of the screen. Yeah, okay. And then you can also change the opacity, and it's so much fun. Okay, but we're going to delete that. See, it's unnamed. That was just a path, and then we, boom, gone. Okay. I don't know what else to say. It's just been a lot of fun. Yeah, it took me a while. I'm going through the iterations of getting all the margins and everything right. Let's see, you can select things. I embedded these fonts. I got these fonts special that I really like. Oh, I made the checkerboard. Yeah, everything. Okay, so you can do, click on this and then click on this, this. I want it all lined up. They are already lined up, but I can see. So usually do last selected, actually, okay, so to line these up with each other, you can make sure they're all in the middle of each other, but to actually line these up within these margins, I do a practice or like a ghost rectangle. That's not quite exact. Okay, so that is this guy right here, and so that's gonna be my last selected. So the front matter is between the ears, and then I hit Control. If you hit Shift, then it highlights everything in between. You hit Control, and then you hit Control, and then last selected, and then line up. Okay, but let's see, we can move it. Ah, see, then you line up left, right, middle. Yeah. Okay, and then you can do that. Oh, Control Z. Okay, you move your little square over here. See, that should line up because I calculated it correctly. Okay, and then I centered everything here with this rectangle, and then when you're all done with the rectangle, you can either like leave it off to the side or delete it. And then I've done other things like let's see, I have like some color palettes that I like that I find off the internet or Pinterest or whatever. Oh, where'd it go? That's not the right one. Okay, I have to go into here. Okay. Well, I'm really organized in Inkscape, but not on my computer. Oh, I made this guy. We can like add him to this. I was gonna show you just colors, but it's really easy. Okay, but we can show it with this guy. Okay, so you can just drag things over. This is, I call him Mosquito Cowboy. I created him and I really, really like him. And okay, if we wanted to match that brown, this is like basic, like Microsoft Paint does this. I love Microsoft Paint. I don't have it anymore though. You just take that color and then you can do something else with it. Okay, we're gonna get rid of Mosquito Cowboy though. Okay, the annoying part about trying to make book covers is that so everything's on the computer, and the computer works in a different language because it's on the screen of colors. But printers for physical printing on paper use CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow. I don't know what the K is, but it means black. And so the commercial printers need everything in CMYK. But Inkscape does not yet, it doesn't at the moment export or output into CMYK color mode. But it'll kind of tell you, like, it'll make you think it does, but it doesn't. So what you have to do is you have to export. I'm going to export into PDF. And then for a while, what did I use? I think what made me go to Adobe Illustrator, I can't remember. So you can maybe do it in this other free program called Scribus. And what you have to do is export it, and then you import it into the other program, and then you tell it to do the color mode into CMYK, and then sometimes you might have to go through all the colors and check the box to make it CMYK, and then export that as a PDF into CMYK, the real CMYK. Or you can do it in Adobe Illustrator, I don't love Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe Illustrator, you gotta pay for it. But yeah, that's my book cover. I made it myself. And there are illustrations in my book, and I drew those with, well, yeah, with pen, it's ink, and then scanned them, and then put those all in the interior of my book, and then I'll, I guess, do a couple like marketing things or whatever with like using some of the stuff I have on hand in here already. And that's it. That's like my Speedy Pony Press. It actually took kind of a long time.